This is NBR Today. The US Securities and Exchange Commission has found the former chairman of PGG Wrightson, Guanling Lai, engaged in fraudulent market manipulation of Agria stock on the New York Stock Exchange. The SEC also found Mr. Lai's company Agria, PGG Wrightson's 50.2% shareholder, involved in fraudulent accounting. In an agreed settlement, Mr. Lai was banned for 5 years from being an officer or director of any issuer required to file accounts to the SEC and fined $400,000. Agria was fined $3 million and agreed to cooperate with SEC investigations by producing any documents required and ensuring current and former staff were made available for interviews or to testify truthfully. Mr. Lai resigned abruptly as PGG Wrightson chairman on November 29 on the eve of a combined annual and special meeting to vote on the company's sale of its seed business to a competitor. Mexican company Finaccess Capital has offered restaurant brand shareholders more than an independent advisor has valued the shares at. Restaurant Brands operates a number of fast food franchises, including Pizza Hut and KFC. And last November, it signed a pre-bid agreement for Finaccess through its subsidiary Global Valor to make a partial takeover offer to acquire up to 75% of the company at $9.45 cash a share. That's a premium of 24% on the closing price of $7.60 on October 17, the last day of trading before the notice of intention to acquire. Finaccess sent its offer document to shareholders yesterday, together with Restaurant Brands' target company statement and an independent advisor's report, which assessed the company's shares to be between $8.15 and $8.92 a share. As this is below the price offered by Finaccess, Restaurant Brands' board unanimously recommends shareholders accept the takeover for all of their shares. Restaurant Brands also announced today it will open the long-awaited Taco Bell restaurants in Australia and New Zealand next year. Franchise owner Taco Bell Restaurants Asia has agreed to govern the building of more than 60 new Taco Bell restaurants in Australasia over the next 5 years. Housing Minister Phil Twyford concedes the KiwiBuild program has hit some headwinds and mistakes have been made. But Mr. Twyford still believes it can meet its target of building 1,000 affordable homes by June next year, despite so far having built just 33, with another 77 under construction. He says the uncertainty over KiwiBuild Chief Executive Stephen Barclay, who has apparently not been at work since the beginning of November, isn't ideal. Despite public uncertainty about who is running KiwiBuild, Mr. Twyford is happy with the team responsible for the program and satisfied that by Christmas, 50 families will be in affordable homes.
I'll be upfront with you. We've had some headwinds. It's not easy. And there's a reason. If it was easy, we probably wouldn't have this housing crisis. But KiwiBuild is affected by all of the things that actually created this housing crisis in the first place. We've got not enough workforce because there simply hasn't been the investment in developing the workforce. We've got construction companies falling over almost every week. We've got incredibly expensive building supplies and high build costs. We've got a planning system that stops you at every turn, and the councils can't borrow enough money to invest in the infrastructure. So the residential construction industry is broken.
Well, the liquidator for Matrix Homes has warned its directors and insurers of potential court action as an investigation into the prefabricated building firm, which collapsed owing $6.5 million, continues. 30 employees lost their jobs when Matrix was moved into receivership in July, and the Trentham-based firm has since been put into liquidation. Further liquidator John Scudder says his investigation has been delayed after debt buyer 99 tried to replace him with another insolvency practitioner, Damien Grant, last month. 99 bought approximately $90,000 of debt in the liquidation and moved to have Mr. Grant replace Mr. Scudder as liquidator in a meeting held last month, but failed to convince creditors. Award-winning Marlborough winemaker Yealands Estate Wines and its former staff have been given hefty fines after pleading guilty to charges laid by the Ministry for Primary Industries in the District Court at Blenheim. Judge Bill Hastings imposed fines against Yealands Estate Wines of $400,000. The company's founder and former director Peter Yealands of $30,000, former general manager Jeff Fife $35,000, and chief winemaker Tamara Kelly, also $35,000. The charges relate to all parties being complicit in making false statements about export eligibility applications and errors in wine records relating to the use of added sugar, a breach of EU market regulation winemaking requirements. An audit by MPI discovered incorrect and false recordings from 2012 and 2015. The wines were not sold under Yealands brands, and all the wine involved was properly made and safe to drink. MPI Compliance Investigations Manager Gary Orr says the convictions are the first for offending under the Wine Act 2003 in New Zealand. Well, Snakk Media's Australian trading subsidiary has been tipped into administration. A notice to the NXT board on which it is listed says on December 10, its wholly owned subsidiary Snakk Media Proprietary, the company it trades under in Australia, appointed Kortamintha as administrators. Snakk Media, which aggregates publishers' advertising space on mobile devices and matches it to demand, was founded in 2010 by Derek Handley, who was paid $100,000 by the government for no longer being required for the Chief Technology Officer role. He remains a part owner of Snakk. Sydney-based Kortamintha partner Rahul Goyal was appointed last night to the Australian subsidiary and says he's still getting to the bottom of how much it owes. He says Snack's directors are also working out what to do with the parent company, as there is a large loan from the parent to the subsidiary and it's uncertain what the recoverability is. To tomorrow we go, and following on from our interview with Housing Minister Phil Twyford, National's Judith Collins has her say on the state of KiwiBuild. For more on that and other stories, head to our website. Enjoy your evening.
To unlock your 2 free articles a week, head to nbr.co.nz.